Hey guys, and welcome to a bonus episode number 5. This is a special episode of Meeple to Meeple. Today, we are going to be talking with the designers of Kavango who've got an expansion coming out, and that expansion is going to feature very prominently the concept of ecotourism. Well, what does that mean? Well, ecotourism is a form of responsible travel to natural areas that conserves the environment. It sustains the well-being of the local people, and it involves interpretation and education. And in this expansion for Kavango, players will secure the long-term sustainable financial conservation efforts through this immersive experience of wildlife preservation. So, guys, get ready for a great conversation. Matt, Zara, how are you?
Hey, great. So happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
Well, thanks for reaching out. I love it when someone reaches out to me and is like, "Can we be on your show?"
Oh, it's so great to be back.
So great to be back.
So great to just be chatting, to be honest.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit, how have things been going? How is things in the world of Kavango?
Well, good question. It's a bit wild and busy at the moment.
Yeah. Well,
so just
sure.
preparing for the Kickstarter and preparing for Essen. So a nice double whammy, isn't it?
But
yeah, we're launching our Kickstarter campaign.
Everywhere, right? Like,
has it?
Yeah. Okay. It's fair. You guys have been busy with the expansion, but I mean, in the past year, right? You see Kavango, content creators are posting, they're either playing the game or they just got a copy of the game, and that's got to be a great feeling for you, right?
Oh, that's lovely to hear. Yeah.
It's been. I mean, we have seen it as well. I mean, it's been amazing because we've just done our retail launch across the world, which is just so phenomenal to see and a real pinch me kind of moment.
Yeah.
So we're now in France and Germany and the Netherlands, as well as the UK and other English-speaking countries, and all over North America. Seeing that is just pretty mind-blowing, to be honest. It's quite amazing.
There are still copies of Kavango on the game shelf at my local game store here in Springfield.
Brilliant.
That's so nice. I mean, it's funny because we don't see it because we live quite rurally, so we don't see it in the shops. And then we had our first moment of finding Kavango in the wild at Tabletop Scotland, which was about a month ago, and we were just walking past a booth of a retailer and we saw it and we were like, that's our game! So that was pretty amazing. Yeah. So in some ways we see it online, but then when you actually see it in real life, it's just a real amazing moment. Can't quite believe it.
Yeah, we occasionally get friends or family who send us a photo where they've seen it in a board game cafe.
Right? What can you attempt to describe what that feeling is like?
It's a bit surreal, to be honest. I think partly because we've still not actually seen it out in the wild ourselves. So in some ways it doesn't feel real. It's very difficult to actually comprehend it until you see it for yourself. Even whenever you see people sending photos of it, it's sometimes you're like, oh wow, there's so many people out there playing it and loving it and enjoying it, and it's you just have to remind yourself that that's all real and that's all happening.
So you got the expansion coming to Kickstarter. Talk to me about that process. Like, I think the last time y'all were on the show when you were launching Kavango, y'all had talked about you had some other projects that y'all wanted to work on, and I don't think they were expansions for Kavango. Or did you have this from the beginning and you were waiting, or what was the catalyst for this expansion?
So we kind of always had this expansion in our minds with Kavango. I think we probably weren't expecting it to come before our other projects, but having spoken to other people in the industry, for example, they quite strongly recommended go with the expansion first before going with new games, and we're still in the development of other games as well. It's just, I mean, knowing how long Kavango takes in terms of development, so I think that's been a good decision, and it's been really fun to work on it. Yeah, in terms of the expansion, I think we always wanted to introduce more of the human element, as you sort of mentioned in the intro, and then mechanically we always wanted to do more with the boards and the placement of the animals on the board. So those were two things we always wanted. But in terms of like not having them in the base game, to us it was so important that the base game was accessible and quick to play and family friendly and could be that gateway game. So that was the logic.
So who has been bearing the brunt of the workload for the expansion?
We're both working full pace on it, to be honest. Matt's obviously doing all the art, which is a huge uplift. I'm in the back end of Meta and like emails and comms and just stuff like that.
But also doing a lot with our charity partners, for example.
Yeah, that's been so nice. Working with our charity partners. So, but yeah, I think now in the build up, we both just work as many hours as you can get through without sleeping. And then you go to bed and then you wake up and you do it. No, it's been great. I mean, as Matt said, we always had this plan for the game. We always knew that there would be placement mechanics on the boards. And that's why the boards were so important. Because there were a few people who said, when Kavango came out, like, why do you have the boards? And we were like, well, you'll find out why we have the boards. So it's kind of all been part of the plan. And the expansion fits inside all the boxes as well. So you can like neatly pack it all the way together. So you don't have to have it separately. There's always been, hopefully people when they get it, they'll see that it completes Kavango in a really nice way.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it.
Do they have these? Is there a lot of ecotourism in the Kavango?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I remember on our first episode, I sort of told you about the Kaza region, which is where Kavango's based, the Kavango Zambezi.
Yeah, I think yes.
Yeah. And in that region, part of its objectives are wildlife protection and looking after migratory routes for animals, but it's also tourism, because tourism is a huge driver of the economy in those areas, because these are such rural areas as well, if you think about it. So it's a real driver of economic growth and revenue for people who are living alongside nature. So tourism is super important, and they do it really well. They've got some really nice lodges in that part of the world, don't they?
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, most importantly in terms of the work that's going on, it's absolutely fundamental for conservation as well, because that money, I mean, there's so many amazing projects that are funded through money through tourism. Communities are living alongside, and this all comes into the game and the expansion as well. And it's that, and that was what we really wanted to capture, was like how important the human element is, because we are part of wildlife, and we are part of nature, and always will be. And it's so important that we live alongside nature harmoniously, and that we that people are benefiting from nature. And in the case of Southern Africa with ecotourism, you have to be financially benefiting from it as well.
So one of the challenges I always struggled with every time Kavango hit the table was never having enough money. That was always a challenge. And it sounds like that's also a reflection of the real challenge, right? And so ecotourism is a solution to that in partnership with the conservation and preservation efforts. And you see that in the game, because it helps you to make some money so you can get what you need going. So tell us a little bit about how the expansion works with the base game.
Great question. Shall I go?
Yeah, crack on.
Yes. I guess the first thing to say is that we wanted it to be modular. So a bit like the base game, where you can change the complexity or you can change the difficulty level for different players. We wanted it to design it in a way that you can add the different elements in. There's the two main components are the lodges, and then there's the community protection, which are effectively separate in some ways, but when you play with both together, they're very much intertwined. And then Zara's real sort of innovation was the Golden Lodge as well, which is an extra luxury lodge that you're competing for against other players, which is a bit of a race. But so in terms of the lodges, it's all about the placement mechanics, and the idea thematically being that you have to have certain types of animals in order to build a lodge. I.e., one lodge says, we really want our guests maybe to be able to see reptiles and some raptors, say, for example. And then if you have the right combination of animals, the icons which show you which category of animal it is, then you can build your lodge. And lodges earn you points at the end of the game. So if you're playing with just the lodges, you're trying to complete a puzzle, placing your animal strategically on the board in order to build as many lodges as possible, and you get 8 points per lodge complete. And you can build up to 6 lodges, and they, like the research task, you have level 1, level 2, and level 3, which doesn't correspond to the rounds. It's just the level of complexity. And at the beginning of the game, you choose 6 from the 9 that you'll give 2 for each level, and you're trying to map them out your board. So it's a long-term strategic element. So you really have to think early on, right, okay, this is what I'm going for. This is where I'm going to place them. And you know very early on in the game what you're going for. That's the lodges. Actually, Zara, why don't you say a bit more about community protection? Because I've been talking about.
Well, I mean, I just want to say first as well, it blends seamlessly into the base game. So the way that you play the game doesn't change. So you're still doing the same turn structure. And then just within the turn, you can now also build lodges or do community protection. So when you start the game, part of your board will be blocked by community protection tokens. So this is if you decide to play the higher module of the expansion in terms of difficulty. So you'll block out part of your board with community protection tokens, and you need to use the money that you earn from building lodges to invest in the communities. That's going to unlock those spaces and allow you to grow your nature reserve and place an animal into that space. So again, it's about how revenue that you're getting from tourism is also reinvested back into the communities around wildlife. And ultimately that allows you to grow and it allows the communities to grow as well. So that's the kind of narrative that we're trying to inject into Kavango as well. But it's a really lovely expansion because it doesn't slow down the gameplay either, really. There's a bit more thinking at the very start of the game. But when you're actually playing, you're still doing the same simultaneous turns and drafting. It's just that you can now also build a lodge on your turn, or you can invest in community protection in your turn. So yeah, it's nice like that.
As someone, I know what I'm going to do on my turn. I like to be efficient. So you guys slowed the game down for me and have broke my brain. I nearly had an aneurysm the first time because now, okay, so the way I used to approach the game is that I would try to get 3 of every animal type, and I would keep them in a row and keep it organized so that I could do that. Yep, can't do that anymore. No, because this lodge wants these 4 animals in it, and this lodge wants these 4, and you're trying to find 2 lodges that want at least 2 in common so that you can put them next to each other, and that doesn't always work because it doesn't draft right. And,
I know. This is why I think it injects so much adrenaline into the game. Because you're playing and you're like, I need a bird. How do I get the bird? Yeah. And you're trying to be like building your lodges, but then when you do build them, it's so satisfying.
It adds even more importance to the sanctuary as well. Like, so often I have 3 animals in my sanctuary, and sometimes I can move them in, but I'm like, right, I can't pay to unlock the space. I'm like, it's not the right animal type. I don't want to move it in yet. So it just makes those sanctuary spaces even more valuable.
So valuable. So valuable.
I actually love it. I know you're not meant to love your own game, but yeah, we really do.
So, the one thing that my one observation about the game, and this is true even with the expansion, is that there's so many trees. There are so many trees. It's like, why when I draft, I'm like, I've got 5 trees and like 2 animals. Like, what is with all these trees? I think that's why I really like the artwork of the German box, which, for those of you who are watching the video, is between Matt and Zara. It features the trees prominently, and the experience of playing this game is there are always trees. So it's like, I'm like, yeah, it's like on the game, the copy that I have, which is the artwork right above that. There's all these animals and the sunset in the background. The trees are way in the distance. I've never played that game.
It's great. It means you get in the giraffe every time, though.
It is. It's fantastic. But, the lodges do add this level of tension and adrenaline. That, it makes the game. We in the community, we tend to describe games that are deeply strategic and challenge you to think as chunky, crunchy, or meaty, right? Recently I've seen some posts on social media about the use of those words and like, what does that really mean? But I think that's what it is. And I think that they all apply. I think crunchy, because I felt like my brain hurt.
Yeah. Well, at the start, when you're looking and you're trying to map out your reserve and make, as you say, make the decisions about lodges overlapping because the lodges can share animals.
They can.
You are really just sort of thinking like, how do I unlock this puzzle? But then once you do it,
We've had some unbelievable stories from people who've been playing it though, like you have. Some people play it without even mapping their lodges on their board, and they can just keep it in their heads.
Yeah, some people can do that.
I was mind blown because we've never even attempted to play that way.
We put the cards on the board. I wouldn't be able to. Very clearly telling us what we need to go where. But yeah, some people hold it in their brains. It's amazing. Put the cards again.
It's true.
We're not doing that.
I think the community protection is really interesting because essentially what it does is it makes your preserve smaller.
Yeah.
And then you have to pay to expand it.
Exactly.
So why was that not originally in the base game, and why is that an expansion feature?
It's that added level of complexity, essentially, isn't it? So
it is.
I mean, as we've recommended in the expansion, it's even like the expert variant of the expansion. So play with the lodges, get the puzzly element, and then add in the community protection later. It also makes money even tighter, as you all know.
Yes, it does.
It's a really nice catch-up mechanism because as you build more, then it becomes more and more difficult to unlock your spaces and play more animals. It works really well as a catch-up mechanism, and in the base game, you might find that one player who's got the most animals, you might expect that they're going to win, whereas in the Lodge's expansion with the community protection tokens, you definitely can't take that for granted. Just because someone has the most animals now, if they haven't been necessarily taking the higher value animals, and also every space becomes important. I guess that's the other element we've missed out until now, is there's also the ability to sell a space for the community solar. So you can get money back. So if you're slightly behind and you're thinking, I'm never going to fill all my spaces here. So maybe you've got one player who's ahead and is going to fill all their spaces or hoping to, but you're thinking, right, I can tell I'm not going to fill these last two spaces. So you can get more money, and then you can use that to invest in the protection to get the higher value animals. So again, it's that catch-up mechanism. So yeah, that works really nicely, we think. And but it's perfect for an expansion rather than the base game because it's that level of complexity which is definitely a level above a gateway game.
Are there any strategy tips that you have for people who are going to back the expansion, like things to think about and be aware of?
I would say play with the lodges first, alone. Don't introduce community protection straight out the back, unless you really want a challenge. And actually, we've seen at some conventions that we've been demoing at, people going straight in, not even having played the base game before, playing with it all and loving it. So I think it depends on what type of gamer you are, what type of challenge you want. But if you just want to sort of introduce yourself to the expansion gently, playing with the lodges first and doing that, and then the next time you play, adding in community protection and seeing where that goes.
Yeah.
And then you can use more or less community protection markers as well. So you can reduce it by 4. So it's not the same. You don't need to earn so much money from your lodges, because with all the community protection markers down, it not only needs you to complete every single lodge, but it needs you to find another 6 money compared to the base game. So it really is tight for cash.
It's very tight. Yes. Is there so you said early on that you hope that people back lodges and see that it completes the game. Will it complete the game? Does it complete the game? Or is there more in the future for Kavango?
No, this is it. This is the end of the Kavango story.
Okay.
Maybe not the end. That's a horrible way to say it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It completes it. Let's go back to that. Yeah, it completes it.
So for all the completionists out there, you've got to back Lodge's expansion, and you will have the complete story, the complete narrative, the complete experience of Kavango, and you can, go to Kickstarter and back that. What about the details? Tell us about the launch date and where it can be found and everything else.
So we're launching on the 21st of October. So I don't know when this will go live.
That's Tuesday.
That's a Tuesday. So that's really exciting. And we've got special extras in the campaign for people. So we've got an extra 21 new animals in various forms. So we've got Captivating Cats, which is a promo pack of 3 really beautiful cats, which are all shinies.
All shinies.
We've got the Brilliant Bird promo pack, which is 3 new birds, which are also beautiful. Matt's been drawing some amazing art for them. Also shinies.
Also shinies.
Yeah, nice.
We've got a booster pack of animals.
Yeah, 15 animals in the booster pack.
And we've got the original 11 shinies that were in the base game Kickstarter that everyone's been trying to collect. So you can buy that whole pack.
Yeah, that's cool.
And we've also got something that is really exciting for returning backers. And we're doing kind of all-in option for people who are coming back and supporting us again. We updated the cards slightly for the retail version of Kavango. We just added icons for the goal cards so that you could easily kind of do set collection without referring to the appendix. Okay. And that updated some of the art in some of the animals. So we wanted to offer our returning backers the option to get an updated deck for free, but we didn't want their current deck to become redundant. So we have created something new for people to repurpose their old cards if they want to get a new deck. And it's called Let's Go Kavango, and it's a way that it's a game that we've designed a way that you can just play with the cards, and we'll send out a box so that you can hold your cards in the box as well. And it's a way for you to take Kavango on the go with you if you want to travel with it and play just with the cards. So we've tried to offer that to people as well if they want to update their deck.
Yeah, that is incredible.
So that's something that we're excited about, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few reasons we're really excited for it is that hopefully, people can play it on the go, and it means, because Kavango is quite a big, heavy box, so it makes it even more accessible to play it. Because this is accessible games in terms of difficulty, but it's a bit too big to carry around all the time. So that should really help. And then also, we're hoping it will help for us in terms of like bringing it to Southern Africa a bit more easily as well, because selling a big, expensive game has been really difficult. But a smaller game that's just cards should make that much easier. And then also, we've got a kid-friendly version of the rules as well. So, I mean, at the moment, it's probably about 10 plus. I mean, we have seen kids like as young as 8 playing it really well. But there's a simpler version. So hopefully, kids from about 6 will be able to play Let's Go Kavango. So that'll be really nice.
That's great.
So that's all just included as a sort of in the all-in pledge for returning backers. Just Let's Go Kavango is in there. And
it's called the Returning Fans Pledge, I think, is what we called it.
Yeah.
The Returning Fans Pledge. Good to know.
So that's quite cool. You get lots of fun stuff in addition to the expansion, which in itself is super fun.
What about anyone who missed the original Kickstarter? Are you doing a reprint of the base game and making it available for backers on Kickstarter in this campaign?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. We're doing that. And if people want the deluxe version, we've got a deluxe upgrade pack that you can get as well. And so we'll have the base game reprinted, and I'm also offering some really good discounts on that and some really lovely all-in pledges and things like that. So
excellent.
It's going to be quite a nice collection of offers, I think, for people.
Definitely.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
That is great. Yeah. I love it. That's amazing. Well, Matt and Zara, thank you for sharing this project. And this is going to be October 20th, right? Is that right?
21st.
21st. The 21st is when it's going to launch. So
October.
There you go. So it's coming, guys. Check that out. If you missed Kavango originally, you'll be able to pick that up with everything. And like, so good, such great art. You gotta back it. October 21st. Check that out. As always, guys, be kind to each other. Let's play more games.